doing some Instagram posing. Nigga, I'm ready to start cracking niggas. I can't even lift it.
Look at my face. Let the law come find me.
Got people destroying shit over here. People destroying shit over here. Do you have to be Chinese to wear this?
You don't have to. Anybody can wear.
What prompted you to make that video?
I made that video to prove anti-white ivory tower professors like the one in your studio wrong. This video and the others that I've made like it with Native Americans, with Mexicans, with the Chinese you just watched are irrefutable evidence that people like that professor are exactly wrong on cultural appropriation. I've seen people get offended by braids and say braids are a black people thing and white people can't wear braids. It's called a Dutch braid. It was from back in Nordic times, old Nordic times, with white people, with Vikings, would wear braids, yet people want to come and claim that it's some part of their culture now. No, you can't claim that something is just a part of your culture either. It's for people to share and celebrate and use so you can actually have a society that is cohesive and works together as a melting pot, not all these different groups that can't work together because everyone's so offended. The only people who are actually offended by cultural appropriation don't really have anything else of meaning going on in their lives, it seems.
This is your card, right?
Jesus asked you not to skip this message from God to you today. But if you choose to skip it, don't be upset if he skips you when you need him. Can you treat this video as you would? Jesus? This video did not come to you by chance. God has a blessing in store for you. Are you ready to receive it? Click on the 3 buttons on the side and follow this profile so that God bless your day. Then write, I am ready to receive your blessings. Lord God wants you to know that a great opportunity is coming into your life. This opportunity will not only be beneficial for you, but it will also have a positive impact on many people around you, especially your family and everyone you love. Are you prepared for this transformation? Many doubted you, but God will show them they were wrong, and the blessing he has for you is not just any blessing, it is a great victory that will allow you to help those you love. If you believe and want this blessing, save this video as a way of demonstrating your faith and leave an amen in the comments. Always remember God is always with you, guiding you in every circumstance of your life. Don't worry because God is by your side. Your victory is on the way.
John D. Rockefeller, the man that created the General Education Board in 1902 with a grant of $180 million, which is almost $6.6 billion in today's money, once wrote, "We will make them kill each other when it suits us. We will keep them separated from the oneness by dogma and religion. We will control all aspects of their lives and tell them what to think and how. We will guide them kindly and gently, letting them think they are guiding themselves. We will foment animosity between them through our factions. When a light shall shine among them, we shall extinguish it by ridicule or death. death, whichever suits us best. We will accomplish this by using hate as our ally, anger as our friend. We will make them rip each other's hearts apart and kill their own children. The hate will blind them totally. Never shall they see that from their conflicts we emerge as their rulers. They will be busy killing each other. They will bathe in their own blood and kill their neighbors for as long as we see fit. We will benefit greatly from this, for they will not see us, for they cannot see us. We will continue to prosper from their wars and their deaths. We shall repeat this over and over until our ultimate goal is accomplished. We will use all the tools we have to accomplish this. The tools will be provided by their labor. We will make them hate themselves and their neighbors. We will always hide the divine truth from them. We are all one.
Look at this jokester, Tesla bot. Look at this Cybertruck, man. You ever seen one of these before? Whoa, 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 whoa.
You work for Sean?
Yeah, I'm Sean.
What's up, man?
Good, if you do that again, you're gonna get hurt.
May I take your luggage?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, thank you.
I said no. Hey, man, I got some valuables in there. Can you just be careful?
Yeah, man. No problem.
Oh, dude, come on, man. What are you doing? Why are you Uber driving?
Electricity costs are high.
Electricity costs are high. Okay.
Let's go.
Look at this.
Scientists have been participants in the human effort to kill each other ever since the beginning. For each advance, the lethality of the weapon gets greater and greater. So the question is, how many people can one person kill? Hand-to-hand combat is 1-to-1. A bow and arrow, 1-to-10. A gun, 1-to-20. An automatic gun, self-loading, with a self-fed, 1-to-50. A missile, 1-to-100. A bomb, 1-to-1,000. A nuclear bomb, 1-to-10s of thousands. After that, we got even more powerful. We, now, physicists, we go into the atom, into the nucleus. There's a storehouse of energy there. We figure out how to tap that, turn that into a weapon. Those weapons, thousands of times more devastating, never used in warfare. So, are scientists bad for participating in breaking stuff and killing people? You might have a warmongering scientist, but at the end of the day, the scientist is not the one who's at war. It is some nation state that has decided it wants to kill an enemy. It then allocates money, resources, to a war machine to make that happen. And if you're a scientist and you're otherwise lightly employed or unemployed, this is a chance to make some money and a very stable income. So, yes, you can point to the scientist, but in a way that's like pointing to the infantry soldier and blaming them for being so well equipped and killing people when they are part of a much larger machine, geopolitical machine, that has made that a thing to do in the first place.
You want us to be a multi-planet species. However, I have one mild rebuttal, because you defend that argument by saying something bad could happen here on Earth, rendering us all extinct. And if we exist only on one planet, that's the end of the human species. I get that. But here's my mild rebuttal. Isn't it easier to deflect an asteroid, easier to find a super serum that will combat any deadly virus, than it is to terraform Mars and ship 1 billion people there?
Collision with an asteroid is one of the least of the dangers we now face. The last collision was 70 million years ago. Nuclear war, climate change, and pollution are now much greater threats. Of course, it would be impossible to move the population of the Earth to a new planet, but if we can establish independent, self-sustaining colonies in space, it would ensure the survival of the human race. In the event of a disaster on Earth, leaving Earth will also give us a new perspective and cause us to look outwards rather than inwards. It would also unite us to face a common challenge.
Flying car drone in Paducah, built by a company called Pivotal.
What happens when you mix the blackest and whitest paints in the world? This is Vanta Black, recognized as the blackest substance in the world, and has been certified by Guinness. As for how dark it can be, after filling a face model, the original three-dimensional object directly becomes a two-dimensional image. Replacing it with other objects will have the same result. And after turning off the lights, the effect is even more obvious. The black areas blend into the background and appear to disappear. The reason why this happens is that the light absorption rate of Vanta-Black reaches an astonishing 99.96%, which is almost completely opaque. Even if it is illuminated with strong light, it will not have any effect. Wherever there is the blackest substance, there is certainly the whitest substance. Black absorbs light, while white naturally reflects light. It can be seen that when the light hits it, the white block directly turns into a light group. Even if the light is not focused, it still looks very bright. If you use special LED lights to test, the visual effect will be more intuitive. As the color of the light changes, the white patches will change accordingly. It is precisely because of this characteristic that people often mix it into some cooling materials. Next, mix these two extreme colors together so that it looks like black is more dominant. However, after turning off the light, the mixed material actually fluoresces green. Do you know the reason for this?
A huge thank you to this person. I know I saw your first comment, but it got lost on my other comment, so I'm really glad that you came back and said the same thing. If there's any other comments that I missed, things that you want me to look into, please just keep commenting until I do it, because I can't keep up. Okay, well, we're gonna get into this one because it gets pretty interesting. This was the predictive cover for 2012, and as you can see, it says, "Alright, got the hell up here." So we're gonna take a closer look at all of these things. If there's anything that I missed, please let me know down in the comments. The first thing that immediately caught my eye was this. This looks like, is it like Doja Cat or whatever her name is? I don't really know. But that, for some reason, just like reminded me of her, and then these people chasing her into the pit of lust. I just thought that was funny because she did dress up like the devil recently, so. But I guess most artists have. Anyway, next thing. Right under that, you have this devil guy reading this exact issue of The Economist standing right next to the climate change controls. And then along with the H group and Izzy guys coming at each other, if you look down here, you have the British journalists being launched into the pit of fire. And then good old America being force-fed some oil. Gluttony is what we are. And this is interesting. It looks like we're kind of falling under mud flood, Tartarian mud flood, question mark. And I think that's funny because it's like the Tea Party. Then right behind that, we have this volcano, which there has been so much news about volcanoes recently. And then, is that Obama? I mean, there's a lot going on here, like a lot. It's just like the whole thing. I don't know, there's so much going on. If I missed anything, please let me know down below. But like, they got everything right, so. I'm gonna assume that that trend is just gonna continue because it's from the Roth kids who control everything anyway. I'm just shocked that it took me this long to realize that they put out a predictive cover every single year. And I didn't know about it until I was today years old. So, I look forward to hearing your thoughts on what is happening.
Have a go of this. Watch these walls. Oh my fucking god, bro. What?
When you're ready to rise up, you'll rise up. All the power you need is in your hands. Now look around you. Our financial systems have been hijacked by a generation of thieves. While you're working harder and harder for less and less, the game is being rigged against you. They're turning all of us into virtual slaves. Looters, at the heart of our financial system, are price-fixing our most precious resources. Food, water, energy, gold. Even the value of money itself is being siphoned away by high-level crooks in a giant mushrooming conspiracy of unstoppable corruption. They're robbing billions of people of trillions of dollars a year, folks. There is no need for austerity measures. There is no need for financial suffering. No need for poverty. There is no scarcity. We are simply the victims of a robbery of unimaginable proportions. We have been fed a lie so vast it oppresses all of humanity. The truth is, there is more than enough to go around. 60 years ago, productivity was increasing so fast, they predicted by today, entire families could live comfortably on the income of just one provider, working only 10 hours a week. They wondered what we'd do with all of our spare time. What happened to that dream? Turns out they were right. What took a full work week back then can be done in just 10 hours today. We have technologies that multiply our efforts 1,000-fold and connect us in ways they never imagined. We are now 100 times richer than in that great heyday of the 50s. We are heirs to a great bounty of prosperity. $70 trillion in the U.S. alone. Over $200,000 for every man, woman, and child. The only reason we don't experience this wealth is because it's being siphoned away by a corrupt criminal class. They loot through giant corporations, raising prices, lowering wages, stealing the fruits of our productivity. Where once whole families prospered with just one provider, now both parents work, delivering 8 times the productivity but struggling to make ends meet. They control the media using hot-button social issues to divide us, brother against brother, so we fight each other while they loot our sacred institutions. They make us fear too big to fail banks collapsing, but if they did, we'd suddenly recover the 8 times our income that's being siphoned away every single day. Don't give yourselves to these crooks who abuse you and enslave you, who steal your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel. Let us burn these leeches off our backs. Let us replace their corrupt systems with better systems that benefit everyone. Let us reclaim the fruits of our productivity. Let us share our prosperity. We can do this now. We are the creators, and when we come together, we have the power to create whatever future we want.
The first thing a lot of people say is, where's the edge? Well, look at this map where Antarctica is a 360-degree ice barrier that holds the water in. These ice walls are real, and they stand 150 feet above the surface of the water. Then you need to understand that there is no independent access to Antarctica. Average people can only go there on a guided tour. It has no towns, no cities, and no permanent residences. What's past the 150-foot ice wall is anyone's guess. How far the ice extends, how it terminates, and what exists beyond it. The Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959 by 12 nations and more later on, states that Antarctica is for peaceful purposes only, no military activities, just scientific research and government exploration. Expeditions by any party must be discussed in advance. It's the longest and most successful treaty between nations. The treaty also states that there are ships, stations, and equipment to ensure compliance of the treaty. Sounds like military activity to me.
We've found enough of coal within 180 miles of the South Pole in a great ridge of mountains. It's not covered with snow, enough to supply the whole world for quite a while.
Well,
that's the coal. Now, there's evidence of many other minerals. We're pretty sure there's oil. Now, that coal shows the bottom of the world. Now, by far the coldest spot in the world. Where that coal is gets 100 below zero in the winter.
Well,
it was once tropical. So we think there's oil there, and there's evidence, probably uranium there.
is it any secret? Is there uranium there? That would be the only thing that would be practical to actually go after, I suppose. Everything else would be economically unfeasible, wouldn't it?
Well, as we recklessly expend our resources, the time will come when we'll have to go after that stuff down there. Well, you know, I avoided what you said about uranium. I'm not sure about that. I don't want to have the world fighting over the Antarctic.
And Robert, is there a competition among other nations to try to get information about Antarctica and possibly to secure some of these resources?
Well, yes. There are now 7 nations very much interested. Russia is interested tremendously. That I'm sure of. Australia has an expedition down there. The Argentine, the Chile, New Zealand, Britain, and so on. Now, you can understand those people down there being interested because they live down there, the New Zealanders, the Argentinians, the Chileans, and Australians. And so we don't do much about claiming anything.
Admiral, you make it sound a little crowded. Are there that many expeditions now there or en route there?
Well, you know, as I said, it's the most peaceful place in the world, but I don't think it will be for long because of this intense interest on the part of other nations and this nation.
Well, Admiral Byrd...
Bunger leans forward in amazement. His eyes have caught a sudden and unbelievable change in scenery. The universal white has turned to chocolate brown, dotted with blue. A cameraman goes into action. 300 square miles of land without snow. Land that might be in New Mexico or Arizona. Pictures alone will prove Bunger has discovered a warm oasis in the shadow of the pole. It is for such supreme moments as this that men brave the hardships of exploration. The astounding, undreamed of fact is that they are over a chain of warm water lakes whose shores, except for small patches, are free of ice and snow. Commander Bunger circles the largest lake in sight, 5 miles long. He comes in to make a landing. Water temperatures must be recorded. Samples taken. He finds the water fresh. Temperature 38 degrees Fahrenheit. On the shores are vast deposits of coal and of minerals of the utmost importance to civilization. Aside from their headline discovery, Bunger and his men have another good reason.
うやり方をちょっとします。
Got your ass. We got your ass now. So some people will say this is caused by wind erosion and rain. Others will say this is nothing more than a natural rock formation. But brother, that's a petrified cyclops. And it's not just a cyclops. There's a whole cave of petrified furniture, beings, people, all type of mad things, brother. Like, look at that. It's because a chair. Are they shoes? That's a person, brother. A petrified person. Now, I don't know where this is. It says it's somewhere in Russia or Ukraine. But this is a mad thing, bro. If anyone knows what this is, somebody tell me. I mean, who is that? Who is that? That's somebody, bro. That ain't just a normal rock formation. I'm not having it. And I'm not a scientist. And I don't study rocks. But brother, that's a hand.
We look at their rockets. This is how they claim they get into outer space, is these rockets. Their rockets never go straight up. Every single rocket launch from a government space agency, you'll notice, follows a parabolic curve. It goes up, it reaches a peak, but what they do is as the rocket starts coming back down, they make sure that it goes down over the ocean, out of the way of any curious observers. Anyone can see it coming back down to Earth, asks, hey, how come the rocket's not going up anymore? Well, it's going around the curvature of the Earth, is what they tell us. So every single rocket, the reason that it follows a parabolic curve, they say, is because it's going around the curvature of the Earth. The real reason is they can't get up any higher than that.
The only thing that's been to space is your imagination.
They tell us that the Earth is a sphere. They show us pictures of a sphere, of a circle. It's a perfect circle. And then they come out and they say, well, it's actually an oblate spheroid. Oh, what's that? Well, it's a sphere that's flattened at both poles, so it's more of an oval shape. It actually bulges out south of the equator, as well as being flattened at the poles. So it's more pear-shaped.
So it's not actually a sphere. It's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good word. It's like pear-shaped.
So now it's pear-shaped. So why are all of these official NASA photos and videos showing perfect spheres when it's actually an oblate spheroid or a pear-shaped spheroid? They can't get their story straight. The reason they keep changing it is that to fit the model, they have to change the shape of the Earth. South of the equator is larger than north of the equator because lines of longitude that just extend outwards, they don't contract back. So they concede that in their pair model. They say, well, the side bulges out south of the equator. It's bigger south of the equator. Yeah, it is, because it's flat. But instead of admitting that, they just, make tweaks to their model as time goes on. They say that the ball Earth tilts back 23.5 degrees. That's another tweak they made because we can see Polaris, which is right over the North Pole, from 23.5 degrees south latitude. Shouldn't be able to see that on a ball. So they just tilt the Earth back and then okay, now you can see it. And so they come up with explanations in reverse like this. Damage control, reverse engineered explanations.
So if you didn't know, Elon Musk launched another SpaceX rocket today. And I personally believe him and other entities are trying to break the firmament. And as wild as this sounds, I believe this whole SpaceX thing is the new version of the Tower of Babel. Humans have always tried going extra measures with tons of stuff. And if you don't know what the Tower of Babel is, it was basically humans trying to build a tower so high that it would reach the heavens. They're literally doing the same thing with this whole SpaceX shit. Let's watch this rocket explode on the firmament real quick. I fast forwarded. That was a huge explosion. And I personally believe that the explosion looks like this because there's water above the firmament. The firmament separates the waters from above from the waters below. So this is the 3-story universe. The sun and moon is inside the firmament. And above the firmament, you have the ocean of heavens. And above the ocean of heavens, you have the heaven of heavens.
On Operation Fishbowl, nuclear detonations rent the sky 5 times over the Johnston Island.
The video I just showed you was an actual operation that went by the name Operation Fishbowl. And they sent high altitude weapons in the sky trying to break the firmament. So this has been going on. It's just that Elon Musk has brought it back. And if you ask me, this explosion and this explosion looks similar. And it's so wild to me how America is a Christian country, but tells people that the earth is a globe, when clearly it says in their own Bible in Genesis that there's a firmament above us, and the firmament separates the waters from the waters. I ain't gonna say too much about that, but just ponder on that contradiction. We're in the age of Aquarius and the truth is being revealed. Revelations, the great reveal, the lifting of the veil. Comment and let me know what y'all think about this video.
The reason people's kids end up fucked up. Think about the day-to-day relationship between a father and a child. Man goes to work, child goes to work, they come back home, they see each other 30 minutes. The kid watches on television The Simpsons, American Dad, where the father figure is an absolute fucking clown. So now they're programming in your head that the dad's a fucking clown. The dad comes back tired, he's upset, he doesn't want to talk to the kid because he's exhausted, fairly so. Bills have to get paid, they don't interact with each other, and how are they supposed to build a relationship? Now the children is learning what? They're learning from the teacher, they're learning from school. Hey, father and mother, your kid's reading fucking textbooks. Do you know who fucking wrote them? Probably not. You should probably be careful.
Doing all sorts of sexual stuff in schools
Dude,
now.
it's everything, dude.
Yeah.
And now you're in a circumstance where your child is not your own.
Check this out, y'all. This is in Las Vegas. Check this out. What is going on down here, y'all? What does that look like?
There you go. It's a cutter head.
Look at that.
This is the Tunnel Boring Machine, or TBM, and it's revolutionizing the way we mine underground. Unlike traditional mining methods that involve drilling and blasting, the TBM works by slowly grinding away at rocks and soil. It's like a giant mechanical mole carving its way through the earth. It's equipped with a rotating cutter head that can grind through even the toughest rock formations. And as it moves forward, it even installs support structures to keep the tunnels stable. It's faster, more efficient, and safer than traditional methods. Plus, it produces less waste and causes less disruption to its surrounding. From hydroelectric power plants to subway systems, you might have even been inside one of the tunnels mined out by a TBM. So
Check this out, y'all. This is in Las